Is Missouri a tax deed state? In this video, we're going to discover Missouri and whether it's a tax deed state. There's a lot of things going on in Missouri, and it's not just politics. Isn't that where President Wilson was from? I can't remember. But anyways, a little trivia for there. You can look it up and post it in the comments. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it works in Missouri and how to make money. I've said this over and over again. Anytime a municipality makes it more difficult, that's where the opportunity is. In Missouri, I don't want to say they try to make it more difficult. The first thing I look at is this is opportunity. You want to watch this. This is awesome. Now, like, comment. If you have any questions, comment it in there. And also, I got a little gift for you, okay? A little bonus for sticking around. So let's get right down. Stick around to the very end and I'll get that out to you. First of all, Missouri, drum roll please, is a tax lien state. So that means once a property owner becomes 1 year delinquent on their property taxes, they go ahead and hold a sale. A lot of counties in Missouri will not hold a sale for 1 or 2 years after they've been late. So you're always buying liens that have already been in inventory for a while. It's kind of a weird little deal. Again, there's some weird things happening here. Weird? Not necessarily. Austin's weird, okay? I'm just saying different, okay? So they're on location. You have to be there in person. It's a 10% amount of the cost only, not to exceed earned interest, and then 8% on any subsequent taxes. So 10% on tax amount, okay, that's it. Plus an 8% on any subsequent taxes if you've paid those. There is a 1 year redemption period. So it kind of starting to sniff like a lien that turns into a deed pretty darn quick. Anytime you see a redemption period of 1 year, you go, wait a second, they've been late a while. Because as you've seen in other of my videos, right, because you've watched a lot of my videos, you're an avid fan and you've hit subscribed and you sent it to your friends, because it's a known fact if you don't watch these videos, you'll be broke in 30 days. So in my other videos, anytime there's a 1 year redemption period or less, you got to stop and pause because you might be getting the property. So I would be alert on that. Now, here's the special caveat. It says right here, special caveat. Only Missouri residents without any delinquent real estate property taxes may bid. Well, how's that good for me? All out-of-state bidders, potential buyers, must appoint a local registered agent who resides in St. Louis County in order to bid on behalf. Okay, so this is specific to St. Louis County, kind of weird. The bidding method is a premium bidding over the face amount of the tax lien certificate. So again, if it's $1,000 lien, I say I want it for $1,000 and 10%, and somebody says $1,001, $2. Every dollar they go will effectively lower their yield. Premium amount does not earn interest on it. Failure of the purchaser to obtain a collector's deed within 2 years, okay, from the date of the certificate results in the loss of the purchaser's lien on the property, and they will ban from sales. So in other words, you have to foreclose on the property after 2 years. You can after 1 year. They want their money, and they want this money back on there. And then any leftovers post-offering is they just do it again. They do another sale and another sale as a premium bid on location, 10%, all of that good stuff. What I'm talking about here earlier, let me get my paperwork in order so I know what I'm talking here. What I'm looking at here is in Missouri. This is a really good example to bring this up. Anytime you see a county that makes it difficult, you got to say it's nothing personal. They're not going, oh, I'm after you because you're, something. They're doing it for everybody. So when I go into a county, like there was one county, a municipality, in Pennsylvania. I called them up and I said, hey, I see you have a sale coming next month and I would like to get the list. How do I get a list sent to me? And they said, we won't send them out. I said, oh, okay. How much is a list if I have somebody come by? Can't pick one up. Okay. Well, how do we get a list? Well, there's a list in the lobby and you can write it down. They won't even let you take copies. And it was almost like the person was proud that they were saying this. And I was like, okay. So what I did is I hired a local title company person, clerk, go down there to physically make a copy of every page on there. And I put it into a spreadsheet and I got everybody that wanted to go to sale. Okay, again, it wasn't personal. I don't know why they were making it difficult. It doesn't matter to me. But when they make it difficult for me, they make it difficult for everybody. So you want to look at that. The other thing I want to look at is this. Anytime I see difficulty within that, that means there's probably some hidden opportunities. You know, for instance, I remember when I first started investing in Georgia, you know, it's a 1-year redemption period. It's a tax deed, 1-year redemption period with a 20% penalty. So you can't do anything with the property for 1 year. Then I realized, well, in order to clear title, if they redeem, they have to come through me. And so they say, how much do we owe you? Well, I put a new roof. So you owe me for the roof too. Kind of getting into some gray area there because you'd have to know more about Georgia to understand what I'm talking about. So watch that video. What I'm saying is every time I go into any market, if you just look at it a little bit and go, what's really going on here? I think you're going to find an opportunity for you, whether it's the fact that they eliminate everybody from going, so it might eliminate some competition to all sorts of different reasons out there. The other thing that you want to look at with Missouri is, like anywhere else, you've got to find the values of the property. Okay, somewhere, somehow, the value of that property is the most important thing that you've got to look at. I don't want to buy a lien on a property that I think I might be getting, which it looks like in Missouri you will be more likely to, unless I know for a fact that after rehab value, this property is worth X amount of dollars. Then I can make a decision. I want to ascertain as much as possible the value or the cost of that rehab on that property. You're not going to be able to go in there. You're not going to be able to get the keys and go in and get an inspector and look at it. Sorry. That's part of the risk involved investing here, which isn't a big deal. It's just a fact. The fact of the matter is you got to make your best guess. And so we'll show you how to do all of that. Okay. Now, getting values of after rehab value is pretty simple. All you're doing is getting a property that is in good condition and has sold in the last 2 to 3 months. Okay, that's similar like the one you're looking at, 2-bedroom, 3-bath, whatever that might be, similar square footage. I like to get 3 comparable sales, what they call comps, and I add all of those sale prices together, then divide by 3. That becomes your average sale price. Then I take all of their square footage and I add them up together and I divide by 3. And that establishes your average square footage. Then you combine those, divide the square footage into the average square footage into the average sale price, and that's going to give you your average sale price per square feet. So all I need to know is what's the square footage of that house, multiply it by my number, and you've got your ARV. The tricky part is finding out what's it going to take to get it to that ARV. How much rehab are you going to have to do into that property to make it happen now? Before you go to any auction, whether it's in Missouri or not, you want to know exactly when the sale is, how you have to be registered for the sale. So if somebody else is bidding for you, can you register or do they register? Does your proxy bidder have to have their tax ID number or is it yours? There's a lot of factors involved in there, and I don't want you making any mistakes. So this is why I'm putting together for you a complimentary gift, which is my new course. All you have to do is hit the link down below, higginsmethod.com, or hit the link down below. It'll go right there, and I've got a free gift for you. I think it's some of my best work yet. It goes through all the pitfalls and everything that might happen when buying tax lien certificates. Review that, ask any questions. Good luck, God bless, and we'll see you out there. Thank you.